Hello there, Libra, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today I'm doing your January romantic love reading. So we'll take a look at the overall energies in your romantic love life with the oracle cards, and then we'll go to the tarot for more details. And if you're enjoying the content that I create or resonating with the message, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider commenting, or subscribing. Okay, let's get into it, Libra. Let's see what you have here. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. You know, Libra, you've been getting this type of message a lot towards the end of 2021 and then stepping into 2022. I think there is something about loving yourself, but I think you've been really working on that, Libra. To me, it's almost as if you need to trust yourself, because your last couple of readings, just for your 2022 yearly reading, your January general reading, your career reading, it's about trust. About trusting the universe. But before we can trust the universe, we have to trust ourselves, right? There's a little bit of this, I feel like you got, zinged in love. And now it's kind of like, do I trust myself to make the right decision in love? Instead of just kind of going into an energy of, I'm going to trust and I'm going to look for red flags and everything, but I'm going to trust the universe and I'm going to trust myself. Yeah, unrequited love. I feel like this is from the past. This is not now. This is from the past. There is that little bit of that energy of love yourself first, though. Making sure that you're still working. That is, self-care is something we have to do every single day, Libra. It's not just one and done, It's waking up every morning and saying your affirmations or your mantras, journaling, meditating, listening to your heart. And just really, looking yourself in the mirror and just telling yourself just how wonderful you are, because Libra, you are. You've come so far. So it's kind of like, just making sure that you're taking, those steps to really work on your self-care, to put yourself first, to step into that Queen of Cups energy. So let's see what we have here. Denial, regressed emotions, rejection, unable to see below the surface. And, sometimes this comes when we're having issues with trust. We just want to look at the surface and just go with the surface stuff. I dated somebody in the past that had dark hair. So, okay, I'm not dating anybody anymore that has dark hair because, wow, they were a real zinger. It's kind of like, and I know that's superficial, but it's that type of energy of not, if you see a red flag, either dismissing that person completely or being willing to trust yourself to have a conversation about that red flag, about, hey, tell me more about this, right? And listening instead of, when we're in denial, what do? We put up those boundaries, right? We're like, no, I don't, I'm not going to let anybody in this boundary. My heart got trampled on in the past. And it's difficult to move on from a heartbreak, but we're here to love. We're not here to put ourselves in a cave, right? And just, live a hermit life. Our best lessons, our greatest growth comes when we allow ourselves to love. And it is all of that work that we do between getting our heart broken and being able to love again that gives us the most soul growth, right? Think about it. You have to work through your inner child issues. You have to work through your shadow. You have to take a look at, being accountable for your part in past relationships, even the one where somebody betrayed you, right? And it's really difficult. That's why a lot of people don't do it. That's why a lot of people just say, well, I loved once and it didn't go well and not going there again. But we're really here to love and to be loved. Because the opposite of love is fear. And when we're denying things, it's because we're living more in that sense of fear than in love. Rise above drama, obstacles, pettiness. Have the strength to rise. And that's exactly it. Because in order to grow, in order to rise, in order to ascend, we have to be willing to do the work, create healthy boundaries, and then go ahead and face the world with through eyes of love instead of eyes of fear. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Letting go. We at some point, Gemini's having a little bit of the same energy. And you're both air signs, right? Because the truth is that when you're living in fear, when you're holding on to the past, when you're like, I don't want this to happen again, right? We're living out of fear. We're living up in our heads instead of in our heart space. And so it's about letting go. It's about forgiving. It's about forgiving the other person. It's about forgiving yourself, right? For not looking at the red flags or seeing the red flags and still continuing without talking about the red flags. It's about, understanding that this person, this situation brought to you a true, deep soul lesson. And to take a look at that lesson and then to say, you know what? Thank you, universe. Thank you for that lesson. Now I've learned that lesson. Now, when I see the red flag and somebody is, perhaps, drinks heavily. And okay, now I know, okay, that's not what I want in my life. Now, it doesn't mean you might not have a conversation, but if that situation doesn't change, you're moving on, right? And it's realizing that you have done the work. Because Libra, you have done the work. You have. I know from doing your readings in 2021, you have been working on this. You may even be a little bit of denial sitting there going, Mary Sue, are you sure? I don't know if I've really done the work. You've done the work. You don't even trust yourself at this point to know that you have done the work. Because if you've done the work and you've learned the lesson, right? Then, what's the next step? That means, I have to go back out there and try to love again, right? Loving again is like the final test. It's putting yourself back out there and trusting yourself. Okay, so let's see where the tarot goes. I want to put out there, you're on your own timeline. There's no 60 days after the breakup, you should be doing this. And, 120 days, you should be doing this. There's no timeline. When you're ready, you're going to be ready. But I feel like this is Spirit stepping in and saying, Libra, you're more ready than you think. It's almost like, like those days when you were a kid and you would wake up and you'd be like, I really don't want to go to school today. I have that spelling test. And, you're thinking to yourself, I didn't really study those words and, blah, blah, blah. You got all these things going on in your head. So then all of a sudden you go out and you tell your parents, that your stomach hurts, and your head hurts. And, and you can put on this really big act, right? And get out of going to school. But what happens when you wake up the next day? Now, you still have a spelling test to take, right? But you also have missed another day of school, which only adds to the anxiety. I really feel like the universe is trying to tell you that you are more ready than you think. And it doesn't mean that you have to run out and fall in love. It's just about, it's time to start loving again. And sometimes that starts just with loving ourselves. And then growing the circle a little bit bigger and bigger. It can be baby steps, but you want to continue growing. You want to move into love. Yeah, Ace of Wands. I love this. This is your present energy. You're getting inspired. You know, maybe it is a new year and you're kind of like, well, maybe 2022 is the year I can love, right? This is somebody perhaps coming in and wanting, to have, this is like a fresh start. And it doesn't mean that somebody from the past. It's like, hey, you want to start something here. And there, with the wand energy, there's attraction. There's a little bit of passion. You might be a little bit scared of that, Libra, right? I mean, just think about it. That's all. Okay, so your area of resistance is Magician. This is manifesting. This is putting out to the world what it is that you want. Asking the universe for love. This is in your area of resistance. This is kind of like that denial, right? It's kind of like, well, I really don't want love in my life right now. I don't think I'm really ready for it, even though you may not be actually saying those words out loud, but in your head somewhere, it's kind of like, Libra, you're not ready for love, right? So you're not even kind of considering it because this is your area of resistance. This is your fear of a manifesting love, right? If, say you are dating, okay, but you're really not finding anybody that is checking any of the boxes, right? It's possibly because what you're doing is you're manifesting those things that you don't want. You're concentrating more on what you don't want than on what you do want, because the universe does not hear the word not, okay? So you could be sitting there and you could be saying, manifesting in this way. Well, I don't want, somebody that drinks. I do not want somebody that drinks. I do not want somebody that doesn't have a job, right? And then what? The universe doesn't hear the word not. So it's saying, oh, you want an alcoholic that's unemployed. And that's what you're manifesting. Because you're manifesting, if you're dating and you're getting nothing that you're wanting at all, okay? One of the things to think about is, what are you asking the universe for? Are you asking out of fear and saying, I don't want this, I don't want that? Or are you saying, I really want somebody that, has a solid career and can help provide for our family, right? I mean, your future family, right? It doesn't mean that you just want somebody that's wealthy. You just want somebody that has, some form of an ability to bring in some funds for the family, right? It's about putting out there what it is that you do want. It's that half glass, half full, right? I mean, it's like, think about it. Think about what it is you do want rather than what you don't want out of your future love. Really interesting. That half glass, half full has really been coming out in some of my readings. Okay, yeah. So here's your advice. You're concentrating on something that ended. You're concentrating on something from the past. You're not letting go of this. You're actually even kind of keeping it in your aura, because you're saying, hey, universe, I don't want whoever this was. I don't want anybody like that. So what do you get? You get more people like that person. Oh, so interesting. So interesting. I don't know if I've actually thought about it that way before. Yeah. So when you're concentrating on this, on the ending, on painful ending, on getting hurt, on being betrayed, on being cheated on, right? On, people that, don't have a place of their own, so they're crashing on everybody's couches, right? Then what do you get? You get a broken heart. I really feel like this is a reading about Libra. This is what you're doing, and that's why your heart's still broken. Yeah, because the universe is trying to bring in something good, something solid, a solid offer, A solid, somebody that's has passion and has substance. The Page of Pentacles is somebody that has substance, that is willing to plant this pentacle with you and to grow a relationship. Yeah, because right now you're not looking, I feel like you're blocking your intuition too. You're not looking at it. Look at what's on the bottom. Seven of Pentacles. Putting time and energy. The other thing is that you have to kind of be what you want to attract. That one is always so hard, isn't it? I know it is. It's kind of like, oh, you want somebody that commits to you? Well, you know what that means? It means that you have to commit to yourself first. That means if you promise yourself you're going to exercise for 30 minutes every day, that you actually do it. You put yourself first. You commit to yourself. If you're hoping to find somebody that loves you, then what do you have to do? You have to be able to love yourself first. You attract what you are, right? You attract your own energy. So if you're somebody that can't keep your own promises to yourself, right, then how do you expect to attract somebody that keeps promises to you? You don't even keep your own promises. That one was really a hard one for me to swallow, I'll have to admit. When I took a look at that one, I was like, oh, yeah. So it's a little bit about being more realistic. Being more realistic about your commitments and promises to yourself, and also what we kind of are expecting from other people. If you have a pet peeve about people being late, right? And you are consistently 5 minutes late, then how can you expect other people to be on time? It's just, really taking a look. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, It's that energy. Okay, now let's see what you have here. 3 of Wands, you're waiting. Okay, you, Libra, you're getting a solid offer. You're getting a solid offer, but this is what I think. You have the Ace of Wands here. This is your present energy. There's some newness here because you have aces. You have, aces and pages. So you have new energy coming in. I feel like you're trying to control what's coming in, because we have the Emperor here. It's kind of like you want to be in control of whether or not this person is worth celebrating or not. It's this energy of controlling. The offer comes in and then you want to control the relationship in a way instead of letting go. Now, I want to make sure that you understand, I don't think you ought to let the other person control it either, right? It's about speaking your feelings, speaking your mind, giving your opinions, being true and authentic to yourself, but also allowing the other person you're dealing with to be authentic to themselves. So, let's say somebody asks you out and they want to go eat pizza. Let's say, let's go to pizza. I know this great pizza place, right? And you're like, pizza? Like, wow, pizza? I don't know. I'm not saying anything bad about pizza. It's just me. You're thinking something swankier, right? You want something swankier. And it's kind of like, controlling, like already judging this person because they want to take you to this pizza place. Well, you don't know. That pizza place that they want to take you to. Nobody offers that first restaurant for that first date hoping that it's not going to go well, right? You offer it because maybe he really knows the people at that restaurant. So he knows you're going to get a great table, you're going to have fabulous service, you know, you're going to have a free dessert or whatever. It's kind of like, you know, they know that the atmosphere is great. Maybe this is a place you've never gone to. And maybe they're kind of feeling, you know, this is a good place because it's kind of casual enough that you both can enjoy each other and really kind of talk and get to know each other. So it's about letting go, and you're having to let go of the control because you're kind of coming from a sense of fear. Like you want to control what restaurant the first date is at, or you want to control, I don't know, what you do on the first date, right? It's that energy of, oh, I want to control. And the only reason we want to control is because we are fearful. Now, if you're still fearful, then maybe you need to go back and work a little bit more on your boundaries, right? Because if you have healthy boundaries, then you're good, right? You're going to be okay. Our boundaries are what helps us with our anxiety and our fears. So let's see what this magician is. Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. You're manifesting a broken heart. Two of Wands. It's time to look at the glass as half full instead of half empty. It's about changing your viewpoint. It's about putting this wand over here, letting go of the past. Understanding that you have really worked on yourself. You're just, you're shy, right? You're shy about getting back out there because this is what you're manifesting. You're manifesting a broken heart. This is what's preventing you from finding true love, is because you're blocked, because you're concentrating on what you don't want to happen instead of what you do want to happen. So, you know, even every once in a while, like if somebody really nice that you might be kind of interested in asks you out, then what do? You go down the rabbit hole of all the things that could go wrong. Oh, they're really attractive. I bet they have a lot of people chasing after them. You know, oh, well, that could lead to a third-party situation, or they're going to be cheating on me. Like, you haven't even gone out on the first date, and you're already having them breaking up with you. It's, you think that you're coming from this inspirational, no, I'm ready to get back out there kind of energy. But deep down inside, you still have all of this energy. And it's coming out because you have the Ten of Swords and the Three of Swords again. It's about letting go. It's about letting go of this wand over here that's your fear, right? You can live either out of fear or love. So you can't have both. I mean, that is kind of the crazy thing about the universe. You can't have both. You kind of either are living out of fear or you're living out of love. So it's kind of like, okay, just try for a week. Put the fear wand down and grab I'm going to look at everything through rose-colored glasses if you want to. That's okay. Because once you practice being in a mindset of the glass being half full instead of half empty, it really changes your life. It really does. Because then you feel more optimistic, and the more optimistic you are, the more positive you are, and the more positive you are, the more positive you manifest in your life. It's just a cycle. But if you're stuck in the fear, you just get more of the fear. Yeah. You have something in mind that you really, really want. You're just so afraid. You're so afraid. Look at this. You have the Magician, the Queen of Swords, and the Star. This is your advice. Close this out. Close this out. Whatever this was. And I know that's hard. Close this out. Let go of the pain of the past. Let go of your fear that this could happen again. Let go of it. You know, sometimes when I get into that energy, because, you know, there's different levels of heartbreak. But there's very few adults that haven't had their heart broken in one way or another. And sometimes when I get into that fear mindset, I tell myself, you know, when I don't want this to happen again, I tell myself, yeah, but guess what? You survived it. Not only did you survive it, you're stronger because of it. And I concentrate on all the good things that came out of that difficult ending. All the strength I have, the confidence, the independence, the freedom, the ability to make decisions. Whereas before, I was always trying to make decisions to make somebody else happy. Trying to figure out what would that make them happy. You know, sometimes the hardest part about being on our own is that we do have to make decisions based on what we want. And it's almost difficult because if you haven't been even thinking about what you want for a long time, right? It's kind of like, well, I'm not even really sure what I do want. And it's about stepping into this energy of, I'm going to manifest everything that I'm wishing for. Not wishing doesn't come to me. Okay, you see the difference? Like you're getting really clear. I'm only going to manifest. I'm only going to concentrate. I'm only sending out to the universe those things that are going to be in alignment with my soul, in alignment with my true authentic self, that are based on where I'm going, not on where I've been. And based on who I'm becoming, getting in alignment with who you're becoming instead of who you were in the past. Because the star is that quality of true healing, of wishing upon a star, of your hopes and dreams for the future. You know, your hopes and dreams, that glass half full, half empty. You know, what are you wishing for? Are you wishing for somebody that enjoys having fun, hiking, being out in nature, being active? Or are you putting out to the universe, I don't want a couch potato? Because remember, the universe does not hear not. So then they're just going to, oh, you want a couch potato? Here you go. So it's getting really clear about looking at where you're going, who you're becoming in a positive way, instead of attaching it to things that you don't want because of experiences in the past. It's letting go of that energy and stepping into an energy of, I'm going, oh my gosh. Yeah. Justice, there you are. You're stepping into your power. You get your power back when you really start focusing on your alignment with who you're becoming. Just stay in that alignment. And every time the fear starts creeping in, just put your focus on who you're becoming. And when you do, and you get into that positive outlook, thinking, getting into your heart space about who you're becoming, what you do is you vanish. You vanish the heartbreak. The heartbreak goes away. Because what you're doing is you're bringing in a long-term, committed, true love relationship. This is what the universe is trying to bring in. Here's the 4 of Cups, right? Are you concentrating on the 3 cups that have spilt over here? Or are you looking forward to this cup that the universe is bringing in for you? That's the cup to be looking at. Okay, these 3 cups, that's what you're letting go of. really interesting because I feel as if, oh my goodness, I know this is so hard, Libra. It's so hard. So just take it one step at a, almost take it hour by hour. Okay. And check with yourself. Get really cognizant of when things, you're starting to look at something out of fear or out of that negative, right? Look at it and then reframe it. Try to reframe it and really try to do that. Try to do it for a week. Really, I mean, once you get into the practice of it, once you get into this sense of being grateful for things in your life, then all of a sudden you find more things to be grateful for. It really does snowball. If you don't have a gratitude journal, I really suggest that you get one and just write down 3 things every night before you go to bed in your gratitude journal about something that happened that day, right? Be grateful. And the more grateful you are, the more positive you are. And the more positive you are, the more positive you attract. Okay, so here's your love oracle card. Okay, acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times we must accept things as they are. There is no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. And I feel like that's what you're trying to do at this moment. You're trying to control, and we get into that when we're in a, just a fearful. I'm going to protect myself. No one's getting in. Nobody's going to hurt me. And that comes out of difficult endings. The growth that you are making, though, because you get up every day and even if you have that negative thought and then you say, wait a minute, I'm reframing that. And then you put it out into the positive, just try it. I'm telling you, it will change your life. It really will. And you may have to reframe, 20 times an hour. That's okay. Because every time you reframe it, what you're doing is telling the universe, wait a minute, I've got the clue here and I'm going to work on this positivity. And once you start working on it, I'm telling you, things will change. They will change dramatically and they will change quickly. All right, Libra, I'm going to leave it there. I do wish you so much love and light in this situation and all your situations. Please take good care of yourself. Please do. Give yourself a big hug and, be really compassionate with yourself, because sometimes when you're in this energy, you even can get down on yourself. And remember, your very first oracle card was love yourself first. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're putting yourself first and you're doing your self-care first and you're being grateful. Those are the keys. All right. Well, I'm going to leave it there, Libra. I do wish you so much love and light. And if you did resonate with the message, I'd love to hear how in the comments, or please consider liking or subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.